Welcome to the Board Game Network. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play this game called Game of Trains, put out by Brain Games. It's a 2 to 4 player game and it plays in 15-20 minutes for 8 years and up, so it's a nice family game. And Brain Games is the game company that brought out Ice Cool, that penguin flicking game. Every player starts with a locomotive, and then you're dealt 7 cards, and you put those 7 cards, each of these cards, there's 84 cards numbered 1 through 84. You're dealt 7, so you're going to put them in descending order after your locomotive. So that might be your starting deal. Every player does that. And so your goal, the winner, is going to be the first person that can get their train in ascending order instead of descending order. At the beginning of the game, the first player, whoever's going first, gets 1 card off the deck. The second player gets 2, the third gets 3. If there is 3 players, fourth gets 4. So you take the card that you have, the first player, and you take that and replace it, and then that card goes. You actually have your draw deck, you have cards that go beside the draw deck, and you have a discard, and the discard cards are out of the game unless they need to be reshuffled to make a new draw deck. And anything in the discard is face down. You cannot look at it. For those players, the second, third, or the fourth player at the beginning of the game, you're going to do the exact same thing, except for you're going to play 1 card down and the other 3 get discarded face down. Or the other cards, whichever cards are left over, are going to be discarded. So your 2 choices are to draw a card, and then you're going to replace a card here, and this card goes beside the deck. The other choice is, the second choice is to take and play a card that's off here to the side, and here's different card abilities on each of these cards. So if I took this card as my play, this one lets me move a card 2 cards to the left. So I would take that, I would discard it, throw it in the discard pile, and move a card 2 to the left, and then the other ones shift over. This one lets you swap 2 cards. If you take that one and discard it, it lets you swap 2 with a card in the middle. There are 8 different abilities, so you should never have more than 8 cards out here to the side, because you're discarding duplicate ones. Any of them, 2 identical ones, get discarded. The lock. Here's 2 that swap that are adjacent to each other. There are ones with X's. It shows 3 cards, an X in the middle, an X on the left, an X on the right. And what that does is the current player, if he takes that one and uses it, he has to discard his card from the middle. If it's in the middle, if the X is in the middle card of his train, and would put it out here beside the deck, discard the X, and draw a new card. And every player has to do that. When you play one of these cards with an X, every player has to do the same thing. So what this lock does is, if it's out here, you can put it underneath a card and it locks that card so it can't be discarded. It's protecting your card against these X cards. So you would only use it in the middle or on the left or on the right. And it protects it as long as that card stays there and as long as the lock is on it. However, if you move the card, then you lose the lock. You have to discard that lock. Let's make sure we've seen all of the different abilities on the cards. So that's 2 adjacent cards get swapped. That's 2 that have 1 card in the middle. Here's the leftmost card gets discarded. There's the middle one. There's the right one. This is shift a card 2 to the left. Shift a card 2 to the right. So that's your 8 different abilities right there. And that's how you play the game of trains. And so you just simply go until whoever the first player is that gets their train in ascending order. So you want to watch to see how close somebody's getting before you throw the bomb card out there and make them do a discard. So really these pictures on the cards are really enjoyable. I think some of them are referencing TV shows or movies. So you might get a chuckle out of some of these if you recognize where they come from. Anyway, that's how you play Game of Trains. Make sure you tune into all of our videos at the Board Game Network.